This video is a classic log bait guide where I'm showing you 7 tips on how to play log bait.
You have interfered with our affairs for the last time.
Sinatra.
I am literally in the air right now, wrapping up a store. This first class, I am so new at this.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Mars back with another Clash Royale video. And as I said, guys, we've got a log bait guide with 7 tips on how to play log bait. There's a lot of different kinds of log bait decks that you can play. Today, I'm mainly focusing on classic log bait, but these tips will still apply for pretty much any log bait deck that you're using. So yeah, let's just get into the 7 tips. All right, guys, tip number 1 is that at the start of the game, you gotta have your Inferno Tower as soon as possible. Cycle a couple little cards if you have to get to your Inferno Tower, because your opponent could always drop a Hog, Royal Giant, or even an Electro Giant at the bridge or something crazy like that. You gotta be ready with your Inferno Tower to play defense, because when you're running log bait, if you lose one of your towers, you're probably gonna lose the game. All right, guys, tip number 2 for today's video is simply to play the Electro Spirit. I also think the Fire Spirit is pretty good, but you should probably use either the Electro Spirit or the Fire Spirit when you're running log bait. The Electro Spirit is just so versatile. It can limit the damage of so many different troops on your tower. If you're playing in a tough matchup and you don't have a counter for the Magic Archer, say, you can let it lock onto your tower and then use the Electro Spirit to limit the damage. You can also limit the damage of a Bandit or even a Goblin Drill on your tower, and the Electro Spirit just helps you cycle so well. It's also really good against the Skeleton Barrel, so if you go up against that, it would be really good. But yeah, I just recommend the Electro Spirit. You can also use the Fire Spirit or the Ice Spirit. It's mostly just personal preference, but in these games, I was playing ladder at 6,600 trophies, and the Electro Spirit was working out great. All right, tip number 3 for classic log bait is that in single elixir, you need to focus on getting as much tower damage as possible. You always have to be cycling logs on their tower, sometimes Goblin Gang at the bridge, Goblin Barrels on their tower, and try to get some princess hits now and then. Now, obviously, if they have a Goblin Barrel, you don't want to be cycling log on their tower, but in most matchups, you can play your log on defense, use it to hit one of their troops back, and also hit their tower for 100 damage. Yeah, guys, classic log bait relies on getting damage in single elixir before they can build up their big pushes and overwhelm you in overtime. All right, guys, tip number 4 kind of relates back to getting damage in single elixir, but tip number 4 is that you should play your princess at the bridge sometimes. If you do it every time, they're gonna start predicting it and you won't get any value out of it. Also, sometimes you might need your princess on defense, so you have to be careful about this. But if it's single elixir and you want to just get a little more tower damage and you think they're kind of low on elixir, definitely play your princess at the bridge. She'll almost always get at least 1 hit, sometimes even 2. So yeah, playing princess at the bridge is definitely a good play in some circumstances. All right, guys, tip number 5 is that if you're struggling to get damage, you have to use spell cycle. Now, guys, I know rocket cycle is kind of a meme, but like in this scenario, my opponent lightninged just a princess. So that was a +3 trade for me, so I decided to just go in for a rocket on his tower to get a lot of damage. If you can get away with throwing a rocket on their tower and then play defense with your Inferno Tower, Knight, and Goblin Gang, and Princess, then you're gonna be in good shape. The rocket helps you get your damage in double elixir. Just don't really throw rockets on their tower in single elixir unless you're hitting at least like 4 elixir worth of value. But yeah, in tough matchups where you can't really get damage, you're gonna have to use rocket cycle. All right, tip number 6 ties back into the last tip with the rocket cycle, and that is to know your spell damage. For me, at level 13, log does 105, rocket does 538. At tournament standard, the rocket does 370 and the log does 72. You need to know these numbers because if you throw a rocket at their tower and it leaves it at 1 HP, then you're probably gonna lose the game to their push because you just wasted 6 elixir. So yeah, just make sure their tower is within rocket range. Like this scenario, it was at like 500, so I knew the rocket was gonna take it out. And yeah, guys, tip number 7, the last tip for this video, is that once you're in overtime or even double elixir, you have to always be cycling. Log bait is essentially a cycle deck, whether it be the Goblin Barrel, the rocket, the log, or the princess. One of those 4 cards is probably going to give you a lot of value in almost any matchup. So you got to take advantage of your fast cycle, use the Inferno Tower on defense, use your spirit to help you cycle, and the log to help get damage and cycle fast. And yeah, you should be in good shape as long as you don't leak elixir in double elixir. With log bait, you pretty much never want to be leaking elixir, but especially in double elixir, you have to keep up with them and keep playing cards and keep getting as much tower damage as possible. So there we go, guys, my 7 tips for classic log bait in this video. I hope this was a good classic log bait deck guide for you guys. I've made some other log bait guides, so check out my channel if you want to see those as well. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. If you made it this far in the video, make sure to click like and subscribe right now. Doing those little things takes like 1 or 2 seconds, but helps my channel out so much, and I really appreciate it. Also, guys, if you're a fan of the channel, make sure to check out the TikTok below right here. I've been posting some funny videos over there, so go check out those Clash Royale TikToks if you are on TikTok. And yeah, thanks so much for watching once again, guys. I'll see you guys in a couple days with another Clash Royale video.